Today, we're looking at mixing boards. These are an alternative to preamps, but there is a major difference. All of these mixing boards only generate a single stereo signal to your computer. It's what we call one track. In the case of the preamps, depending on how many mic inputs it has, it will output that same amount to multi-track software on your computer. So if you have a 2 mic input preamp, it will generate 2 stereo tracks to multi-track software. If you have a 4 mic input preamp, it will generate 4 separate stereo tracks to the software on your computer. This allows you to mix on your computer. So if one person's voice is too soft, you can bring it up. If your voice is too loud, you can bring it down. You have control over everybody that was talking in separate microphones through the preamp. With the mixing board, you have to have an engineer or yourself listening, and you have to adjust it in real time on the fly because there is no adjusting it afterwards. If the person that you're interviewing is too soft and you're too loud, when it goes to the computer, there's really nothing much you can do to change that, except do a lot of frantic editing, because there's no 2 signals. You haven't got a signal for them and a signal for you. You're both on the same track. So understand that going into it. But mixing boards, as a general rule, allow you to add tone to each track as you're recording. They have tone adjustments just like on your stereo set. Treble, mid-range, bass. Some just have treble and bass. So as you're talking and testing with your interviewer, you can add some bass to their microphone. You can roll some bass off. You can add some high to their microphone. You can roll some high off. You can do the same thing on your microphone. So you can get a nice sound there. In the computer, from a preamp, you have to do that using your mouse or an outside controller with software that has tone controls. And you have to buy software that does have tone controls. So these are your differences, and you have to keep that in mind when you're buying a unit. Now we're going to take a look here at the Behringers. The Behringers, the first one we're looking at here is the Q502. It is $70, and it is a single XLR mic in. It has phantom power, it has a compressor, it only, however, has high and low tone adjustment. It also has a series of line inputs, so you can put in a guitar, you can put in a stereo set, you can put in a keyboard, but it has no tone control on the second input. The one next to it, the Behringer 802, is basically a 2 mic input version of that one. It has compressor for each mic input, and it has high, medium, and low tone control. Plus, it will send out an effect signal, and it has a pan control. This allows you to put 2 microphones into it so you can interview somebody, and it will also allow you to put guitar and keyboard into it, and it has tone adjustment for them. If you have a guest who plays keyboards or plays guitar, you can put that through these other inputs and give it some tone, so you can mix it that way. This one is $100. We have one here from Art, and I've got this here even though it's $110 to $140. It doesn't have a compressor, but it does a few interesting things. It, first of all, only has phantom power on 1 microphone input, the one on the far left. The one next to it on the right doesn't have phantom. This is a safe input for a ribbon microphone. We didn't discuss ribbon mics, and they're not really that great for narration, but if somebody gives you one, phantom power can destroy it, so this is a good input for it. It also has an instrument in, so you can plug a guitar into it and change it from microphone to instrument. Both of them have pads, and it also has 3 tone controls, high, medium, and low, and it shows you the clipping. And it has several settings for USB. It's a nice quality mixer, and it's $110 to $140. Now we come to the Mackie Pro FX6V3. This is, again, a 2-mic input. It will do 2 mic or lines. It only has high and low tone settings, and it has a third input with no tone, and this will take like a guitar or a keyboard, but you have no tone adjustment. But this one does have effects. It has bright room, warm lounge, small stage. Those are reverbs: concert hall, theatrical, cathedral, small plate, large plate, chorus, delay and reverb, doubler, echo, delay, and that's an option you can use. And this is $190. Now we go to the 4 input units, and this is for our round table. You've got 4 people around your table, all talking, 3 or 4, so you can have a conference. You can have a conference of writers. And what we have here is the Zoom P4, and the interesting thing on this is while it has no tone controls, it has separate headphones out for everybody, an 1/8-inch headphone out. It has a separate volume control for everybody. You can put 4 XLR mics into this. It has phantom power. You have separate headphone volume adjustments. It runs on batteries or USB power. It'll do 3 hours on AA batteries. And it records 4 signals to SD card. So you can record all 4 of your interview tracks, take the SD card out, put it into your computer, and then load that into your multi-track software and mix it for your final recording. Or you can send it out as a 2-track and do a live stream. Another interesting thing on this particular unit is it is set up to take a telephone. You can plug in the right kind of a telephone, and you have to have the right kind of a telephone. It has a TRRS 1/8-inch input, and this may work with some Apple phones, this may work with some Android phones, but this is designed for people to call in. And there is a plug-in device you can buy separately that will work to a Bluetooth phone. That's a separate item, and it costs separately. The P4 is a production unit, so if you have a stock introduction that you have for your program, like I have for my outs, if you have a theme song, if you do commercials, if you take breaks, these can be recorded into the P4 and played back on cue, so you're just like a radio station. This Zoom is retailed at $220, but right now they are advertising it between $180 and $220. We have here the Behringer Q1204 USB, and this is basically a 4-channel version of the ones we looked at earlier. It has 3 tone controls, it has a compressor for each channel. This one has sliding faders, not knob faders, and they're fairly long. And it also will take instruments, and it also sends a signal out USB to the computer. It's $190. This is another one for your roundtable. It really should be operated by a separate engineer, but you as the producer and content creator can work with it. If you hear something too low, you raise it. If you hear something too high, you drop it back. You have a compressor. That compressor can help limit the top end of it. This is $190. Finally, we have the Mac Pro FX10 V3. It is a 4-channel for the same thing for the roundtable. This one will take 2 line inputs, guitar or keyboard, on the far left side, and dedicated mics on the other 2 sides. It has 3 tone controls, and this one also has the same effects: reverb, echo, slapback, delay, chorus. The interesting thing with the Mackies, both this one and the Pro VFX6 V3, so it comes with waveform. It does not have any restrictions, unlimited track count, powerful features, popular plugins. It has equalizer, a compressor, a reverb, a delay, a tape delay, a crossover, a limiter, a gate, a noise gate, which is good, expander, a ducker, a flanger, a crusher, a chorus, a bus compressor, a phaser, and an auto filter. So this will work for both music and for production sound. You can do production sound and make strange effects on the voice, strange effects on your narration. When you want to sound fantastic, you can put it through reverb and then bring it back to dry voice. So this does that automatically on your computer. The other ones don't have software with them. We will be getting into software in our next segment. This segment deals exclusively with mixing boards. So this is our look at mixers. Remember, in the United States, and this is just a partial list of dealers, we apologize for any errors or omissions. You can buy this from Adorama Camera, Amazon, Best Buy, BH Photo, Guitar Center, Musician's Friend, Sweetwater, Walmart, Woodwind, Brasswind, and Z-Sounds. Check your local dealer. Look for the best price. Look for the dealer you like to work with. Look for the dealer that has the best return policy. And this concludes our look at mixing boards. If you found this program informative, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Here, I discuss the nuts and bolts of writing and publishing, editing, cover creation, copyrights, picking a self-publisher, making a website, putting books into stores, how to get your manuscript before agents and publishers. And I add new content all the time. So have a good writing day.